first word is following. The second word is waiting. Now, waiting is implied in hope. How are you going to hope for something? Hope is always in the future. And so if it's in the future, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's next day, you're hoping for something next week, hoping for something next year, it's always in the future, so it implies you have to wait for it. Now, how many of you really like to wait? Anybody here? No? Not me either. I hate to wait. Man, I'm the kind of the guy in the, stands back at the grocery store line, kind of looks at it and says, which one's the shortest line? And I don't care which one's the shortest line. I always get in the slowest line. How many of you are with me? You always feel like you're getting the slow line every single time, whether it's gas, whether it's groceries, whatever it is. And I'm sitting there, I don't have time for this. I don't have to. Well, we have to wait. That's a theme all the way through the Bible. Psalm 27:14 says, wait for the Lord, be strong and let your heart take courage. I say, wait on the Lord. They waited 70 years. Now, somebody would say, what you doing? What are you doing now that you're here and there? You've kind of, you're in between career jobs, and you're in between now. You've graduated from college, but you haven't found the job. What are you doing? Oh, I'm just waiting on the Lord. Just waiting on the Lord. We say that, but we don't know what that means. Do you really know what that means? Well, there's a passage in the Bible that explains to us a little bit of what that means. It's found in Habakkuk, and the reason I turned to that book in Habakkuk chapter 2, and if I don't know if they're on the screen or not. If they're not, then, hey, they are. Good, because it'd take you about 30 minutes to find that in your Bible probably. But this little book of Habakkuk, Habakkuk was a contemporary of Jeremiah. He wrote the same time, prophesied the same time. So this passage happened right before Jeremiah 29 and gives us a little bit of perspective of what is going on here. He says in this passage, I will stand on my guard post and station myself on the rampart. This is a tower, fancy word for a tower. And I will keep watch to see what he will speak to me, and how I may reply when I am reproved. Then the Lord answered me and said, record the vision or revelation and inscribe it on tablets, that the one who reads it may run. For the vision is yet for the appointed time. There's an appointed time out there in the future, a hope. It hastens toward the goal. There's a goal here. It's talking about the goal of the hope that stands before you. For it certainly will come, though it tarries, wait for it, for it will certainly come. It will not delay. You say, well, Pastor, it sure is delaying with me, but it doesn't delay with God. I mean, there's always a timing with God, and great things take a greater amount of time. You would say, well, now that you've got the plans for my house together, and there's several pages here, I want it built in the next month. Well, even if you could do that, it'll say, well, I want 3 months. I want a 3-month house. Well, you're going to get a 3-month house. It's going to be, boom, like that. It's going to be kind of thrown up there because you've got to go through all the permitting. You've got to go through all this other stuff and all the inspections, and you've got to wait for this and wait for that. To do it in 3 months, it's going to be a quick house. You're going to get a 3-month house. But to do something right, it may take 6 months, 9 months, even a year sometimes to build the house right. And it takes God's timing. It does not delay to God. It's God's perfect timing. May not be timing for you. It's not timing for me. But it's timing for God. It will not delay.